Hi, good morning. I'm Christian Belzunce. I'm from Southwest Baking. I'm the guy that makes the dough for you. Today we're going to talk about this new oven, this new view, all-in-one oven. It's can call it the Next 5 new view. We're going to go over a few things, and as we go over, I'm going to chop it up a little bit, unfortunately, because we're going to bake back and forth your regular product and also this new product. This oven is really designed to do your regular product. It's proofing and baking at the same time, but also it has the ability to do a crusty bread, which we did this morning. We're going to do another load later on. This is what it looks like. It's got a crust to it. It's got a crust to it. It gives you the ability to do something a little bit different with your restaurants, a little bit different format of sandwiches, and maybe go around and have some competition with other folks. That is the size you're looking for. This is a baguette style, okay? This is not your soft sandwich type product, okay? Now this product, you can also bake it just like your regular product. I'll give you a similar size, but it's going to be a more chewy product, which I don't think that's what you are after today. But you can basically do some very attractive product out of this oven. You bake this at 360 degrees, correct? This is baked at 400, 385 with steam injections. That's the difference. It's all recipe driven. Obviously, it's two different animals, okay? One is baked with no steam injections, a totally different formulation as well. So if you try to use that formula and try to make a crusty bread, that's not going to happen. This one has no sugar, okay? That makes the difference. But your regular products, even your new wheat bread, has sugar in it. It's not designed for the same thing. It's designed for soft bread. Don't be alarmed about the coloring. You must develop a crust. The glass is a tinted glass. Because it's a tinted glass, you persuade the bread has more coloring than it actually has. Be aware of that. It's just awareness. First thing, I'm done with my baking. It doesn't matter what I'm baking, either a regular product or croissants or whatever it is. So it's all recipe driven. Elena is going to make a full oven, a regular product. So what I'm doing, I'm going to select load, and your oven is automatically going to bring the baking chamber to 110 degrees. So you can place your product in here for proofing stage, and it'll ramp up to baking stage afterwards. Take about 25 minutes, running 20-25 minutes. Between your first and second bake, it might take a little bit less. On the third bake, it might take maybe 5 minutes longer. The reason for that is the wall of your ovens are going to be a little bit hotter because you have two bakes behind it, so it might take a little bit longer to cool it down. That's normal. The recipes are set in stages. The concept of this oven has a multiple stage in order to make the finished product. It's almost the same thing you had, but you have to think a little bit differently before you take the product into your proofers. And your proofers are 60 minutes, and you only have two settings: moisture, temperatures, and time, doing it with a template as well. So the differences with this is you had a little bit more leeway, a little bit more flexibility, because if you had product that needed 5 minutes more proofing, you can do this. In this oven, you cannot. So what do you think the most critical stage is before you put it in this oven? Temperature of the dough. That's correct. You want to make sure your restaurants use the temperature gauges. Everybody has this. All stores have it. Are they using it? Again, this is the most critical step to be successful in those types of units. Technically it's 55. My recommendations with these ovens, you go 60. Okay, 60 degrees.
55
okay.
to 60.
55, so yeah, you're about right. The rest of it is, you select your recipe, and your recipe will get it to 110 degrees, and then the oven will tell you when you are ready to put the breads in the oven. So at this stage, you put breads in the oven, push the start button, and you let it go. Right now, it's at 114, which is normal. You always have a plus or minus 5 before the thermostat basically kicks in or kicks out. Normal, nothing to panic about. One thing that we did, and I did it somewhat on purpose, it shows you how to put the pins in the oven. Now, we did half a load on this on a full load, purposely. So you want to make sure that your sandwich artists select the right mode of baking. So you have half a load settings and you have full load settings. What I would recommend is you bake on a lower 4 or lower 3 and you put what we call a dead pan. Okay. That means an empty pan. So you equalize your temperature during the baking part. That's my recommendation. So always equalize your temperature into your baking chamber, whatever you do. Cookies, same thing. If you don't bake a lot of cookies, you have 3 pans of cookies, put a dead pan in there. So you don't overbake your cookies, especially cookies are sensitive to that. Let's understand the 2 different types of product. Obviously, it's a soft product. You heard that? Okay. Crunchy products. Okay. Characteristics, obviously, very different. Internal structure. Different. Okay. Tight structures. Okay. And then you have a little bit more open and very resilient structure. I want you to pass this around and smell it. I would encourage you to play with it, make some sandwiches with that, because you're going to have a lot of questions in your restaurants, most likely. Like your comments, oh, it breaks. Okay, well, maybe there's a different way to cut it a little bit. This bread is really coming just like your regular product. The footprint is the same, but a little bit taller. It's got a label on it. 70 pieces in a case. That bread looks exactly the same as what you have. You put it into the retarder overnight, same things. 10 pieces per pan, and you let it rest between 8 to 12 hours. However, the nice thing about this bread, you can leave it 16 hours in there and longer. It's not going to matter. This is a little bit heavier product. However, because we bake it with higher temperatures, you have more water extraction. So your moisture loss is greater. So you're finishing with a product that's very similar to what you have, okay, on weights. Calories are pretty much the same, if not less, because you have no sugar in it. We pull the product out, we put it on pans, okay? As you can tell, this product is a little bit bigger, but you can handle it very well. Toppings, we can do toppings if you want to. All right, so we're going to just I'll take this, and as you can see, I didn't wet it, okay, by the way, okay? You can, it depends, see, it's a little bit proof, it's going to handle perfect, it's going to slide into the pan, no issues whatsoever. There's no need for me to spray something that's already wet, because what's going to happen, your water is going to go inside your dough. Okay. So, and then you have a sponge. Sometimes restaurants leave it outside for a long time, and it gets dry. So spraying is to prevent crust to get dry. Okay. You never want your bread dough to be dry on the surface. Never, never, never. The reason for that, you will never recover your dryness on the surface, and when you bake it, it flakes out. It crumbled. It means that your product was dry before you put it in the proofer. I suggest you make sure that your product is moist. If it's moist, don't. If it's not moist, use spray. You're looking at yeast-raised product. A yeast-raised product is something alive, and it's basically fermentation works with heat, temperatures, and moisture. So if one of them is missing, you're off balance. Time, temperature, moisture. I would do it just like you're doing the other one, around 40 degrees. 40 degrees is perfect. 30 to 43. I think it's okay. But now, if you have product coming out of your retarder at 30 degrees, you got a problem. That means your product has not thawed properly. I would say 36 to 40, that's where you want, and you prep it right away. Okay, let's do a sunflower crunch. I'm only going to do 2 or 3 on those. So those are different toppings, obviously. So let's put this on the rack. We'll finish the rest of it. I don't know if you remember those knives, if you were around at that point, so I'm going to finish it by hand. That's your preparation. How different it is to what you're doing today? Not much different, right? The rest of it is up to your ovens. Pretty much the same process as your regular product. We're done baking, okay? So we just basically close the cycle. There's one thing you need to remember and train your operators, okay, is whatever you're going to bake afterwards, if you leave your oven set like this without going to the next recipe, it's going to sit. It doesn't go back automatically. It's staging. It doesn't know what you want to do. So if I want to do half braid right now, I'm going to do this. No, running cool downs. That's what it does. Okay. I cancel that. Yes. Okay. I cancel that. No damage. Okay. Now we're going to go to crusty braids. Crusty braids, this is what I want. And it's going to cool down. You got to tell your oven what to do. This oven must be clean every day. But you see you have residual on water. You don't want this to be baked on more than you need to. If you don't clean it, it's going to take longer to clean it the next time. And you don't want to scrub it. Okay. If you scrub it, you're going to take the surface out. You don't have to worry about smell anymore because you don't have a proofer that's just generate fermentations. Fermentation stinks, okay, for lack of a better word.
That's it for this video. Thank you for tuning in to our changes to this X5 baby right here. We did some Hoagie training and we also did some more training on how to adapt to this. If you have more information needs, you can go to the playbook in the description below and you can check out the cleaning video that Christian made right here. Check it out.
Mettre nos joies dans un seul cœur pour mieux réunir tendresse qui ne peut pas